Joining us now, the former Labor Senator Stephen Conroy for our weekly chat. Stephen, let's start off with expenses because there's been a drip feed to the Daily Telegraph in Sydney over the past couple of days. And Tony Burke's come in with some heat. Stephen Jones, it was his turn yesterday for the thousands of dollars he's spending on Comcars. The Prime Minister has been caught up in it today, but the biggest one is probably Adam Bandt, who's spent about $1 million on all of these extras, including about $200,000 on printing and communication. Isn't he a climate guy?
Well, look, I know these stories seem titillating, and I'm probably going to the first time in my life.
This is why the main parties don't get involved, because, everyone's got a dog in this fight.
Look, I defended Bridget McKenzie and Stephen Jones yesterday, and to my shock, I'll actually defend Adam Bandt. The amount of travel and the work expenses, providing they're within, and there's no suggestion from any of these stories, not one single suggestion that anyone has gone outside the guidelines. These are legitimate work expenses. The job of a politician is to get around the country and to talk to the constituents. And if you're a senator in particular, there's a whole range of Senate committees. The Parliament goes out to the people. The Parliament goes and takes submissions all across Australia, from Esperance to, Weipa to the northern tip of, Australia. We travel because we're trying to be receptive to the Australian people. So these sort of expenses are easy headline fodder, but they deliberately ignore the actual work that's involved. I mean, whether you're Bridget McKenzie going to a regional country fair in Victoria, or you're Adam Bandt going to a climate change conference in Darwin or Brisbane, it doesn't matter. As long as it's within the guidelines, and I want to stress that, as long as it complies with the guidelines, these sort of headlines that are coming out really are just about headlines, not about the substance of the work being done.
Does it point to a bit of hypocrisy, though? Because I'm just looking at this figure, the $200,000 on printing. That can't be good for the environment.
Well, look, you've got to communicate, whether it's by Facebook, whether it's through the traditional printing, or whether it's by appearing on Sky News like this. Politicians' job is to communicate with their constituents. Adam Bandt is leader of a political party, so you would expect him to be out there up front. You don't have to agree with a single word, and I agree with almost nothing Adam Bandt says, particularly when it comes to Middle Eastern issues, but he's entitled, as long as it's within the guidelines, to engage in political communication as a politician.
Okay, let's go to retirement today, and that's the big political story today. There's recommendations that are suggesting that folks have got to tip in. Richer folks have got to tip in from their own super accounts to pay for, it's not all of the aged care, but day-to-day items, as it was explained to me a little bit earlier. The richer folks are not going to like this, and some have already criticised it as, another element of a class war. People have worked hard their life. They've paid more than their fair share of taxes, etc., and now they're having to pay for other people as well. So that's one part of the criticism today. But how do you feel about it? Because something's going to have to be done with this hugely increasing debt on aged care, which we're all going to need, I guess.
Look, there's no question that this is a really thorny issue. I mean, what you're seeing is recommendations. They're not the government's policy. The committee's had a look at all different options. This is one potential option. And so I don't envy Annika Wells trying to thread this needle. There's no question our current system is struggling under the cost pressures, but we need to do something. Whether one of these recommendations is the correct answer, I mean, in the past, I've been a supporter of a superannuation style levy where people contribute to their aged care through their working life so that they can not have to pay for everybody else. They can look after their own interests. I mean, the superannuation system, for all its Liberal Party critiques, has been one of the best things that's ever happened in this country. It's allowed more secure retirement, and as more people start moving into that, you can see that is possibly a way for the aged care system to go. But that's just one idea in many. I look forward to seeing the government's response, and they've got to address something which both political parties know, that it isn't possible for the current system to be sustained.
All right. Okay. Yeah, it'd be brave for the government to go after super again after breaking that promise already on the increased super accounts. Just finally, have you got a conspiracy theory on what happened with the Princess of Wales, Stephen?
Well, look, I as a rule, really don't get excited about any of these issues. I think it is odd that they decided to release what is now adopted, AI enhanced, whatever words you want to use, particularly at a time when there's question marks around health, and I hope she's well.
Ferris Bueller, remember Free Ferris? Maybe it's Free Kate now. Hey? What's going on behind the scenes? Is she even alive? Some conspiracy theorists are asking.
Look, I hope she's well. I hope she's recovering from the procedure. But I don't believe that she put this out by herself. I mean, they're pretty strict about what the
I'm not believing it for a moment.
So, I think I don't quite accept the story, but I'm also hoping she's healthy, but not that interested in the royal family.
All right, Stephen, good to see you. Thanks for your time, as always. We'll talk to you again soon.